My name is James Jefferson. I'm the creator and founder of Global Proving Ground and Warrior Island. Global Proving Ground is filling a gap in the world of mixed martial arts by pulling together regional and national promotions of mixed martial arts that have already found their foothold in their region, helping them with their branding, their television production, their fighters, their contracts, getting them more on television, and helping them raise up their production value. We're very lucky. We have a lot of the founding fathers of mixed martial arts in the ownership of our company. So when we established this company a little over 18 months ago, we were able to hit the ground running. And we have had live MMA fights in London twice, in Portugal, in Lisbon, Portugal. We've also been in Missouri, Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, and in Brazil. With the kind of ownership and leadership from our board of directors all the way through our Grand Masters and our fighters, we are probably in year 2. We're the largest organizations in this sport. It took them 10 years to get there. I was covering a lot of the larger mixed martial arts organizations as a reporter for about 3 years. And I started to notice that the fighters themselves and their families were not being taken care of by the large organizations. Those organizations would just kind of, get what they can out of the fighters, and then sometimes after a few losses, just get rid of them. Here's an athlete that spent their whole life trying to get to the highest level of their sport, and then they're just let go. Then where do they go? Well, we wanted to create an organization that filled that gap, that filled the need of where these fighters would have a family, a place where fighters can be developed, move through the ranks of Global Proving Ground, and end up in some of the large organizations like UFC and Bellator. And then when UFC and Bellator is done with them, there's a home for them to come back to, whether they're going to be in our league or part of our anti-bullying and child safety program, or they're part of opening up gyms. We have a full career planning for fighters for the rest of their lives. We have a full legal and accounting team to help them manage their money. We have a licensing and branding department that helps them set up gyms and products, and we have an anti-bullying and child safety program called Kadini. The GPG Kadini Anti-Bully Child Safety Program was studied and approved by the University of Delaware, and it's a program that starts with kids in nursery school, teaching them real martial arts techniques of how to escape a bully, a pedophile, or some kind of a predator. And it's very powerful. We're going to take these fighters from the cage to the school stage, and they'll tell their story, whether they were bullied or they are a bully. And then it gets put into the program where local liaisons will work with the schools. And eventually these kids will end up in either martial arts programs or boxing programs, and they won't be a victim again. Yeah, our core values as a company for Global Proving Ground is about honor, respect, and the true spirit of martial arts. Knowing where you came from, like a family, and make sure you give the right respect. Our code of conduct, which each fighter has to sign, it's about a 15-page document. Everything from having to bow to your opponent and to the official before and after each fight, to your conduct on social networking and your general community. It's about being a good woman or man and making sure that you constantly are representing what all is good. Even in our comic book, which we've launched, which is the Warrior Island comic book, it's about good versus evil. And there's always going to be evil in the world, so you have to keep creating more good to fight it. Well, not so much just the martial arts, but more the mainstream combat. Especially in America, you see a lot of disrespect, a lot of foul language, vulgarity, trash talking, not only to each other as fighters, but to the other fighters' coaches, to the fans, booing. If you went to Japan and watched a professional kickboxing, martial arts, or MMA fight, not only does the winner go over and bow before the loser, but the fans in Japan will actually stand and give an ovation to the loser for the effort. They know that combative gladiator put just as much time and effort in, but just happened to lose that night. And there's a lot of respect and honor in a lot of the Asian cultures, and we're trying to bring that here to the United States, because I think a lot of it's been bastardized. I mean, when Bruce Lee, as the pop culture, Bruce Lee came over and really opened up the eyes here in America of what martial arts could be, and affected pop culture in many different ways. We want to make sure that all the doors that he opened for martial arts, we can go back and put that honor, respect, and the spirit of martial arts, which helps with the anti-bullying, with just general character. Warrior Island was conceived about the same time that Global Proving Ground was. When we were developing a league, we wanted to have a flagship show. And it originally started as a reality show, but we didn't like the word reality. We wanted to go more docu-series. We liked what HBO was doing with Mayweather 24/7 and NFL Hard Knocks. So we wanted to create the same thing. We want to have where we can see the fighter in his home, in his gym, the journey to Warrior Island. And what Warrior Island is everything we've already talked about, which is the honor, the respect. Warrior Island is a mystical, spiritual island that has had warriors on it forever. And now the Grand Masters, Ron Van Cleef and Helson Gracie and Renzo Gracie, Dan Severn, all these wonderful martial artists and coaches that we've gathered for this cast, they're on this island. And the fans of the world, for the very first time in television, got to pick the cast. It wasn't some producers picking the cast. It wasn't just some random people. We let the fans of the world watch the videos. We had over 700 videos uploaded from 27 countries. These videos were at the globalprovingground.com website and on the YouTube page, and the fans interacted and they left comments and they got behind their favorite fighter. And the first 16 fighters and 4 alternates have been picked for season 1. They will go with the Grandmasters to Warrior Island to film the first season. And then hopefully each 2 seasons a year for decades, we'd like to be able to bring a positive light to the world of combat, and then that trickle all the way down to the anti-bullying and child safety to make a positive difference to the children of tomorrow. When we conceived Warrior Island, we wanted to look back at what has been very successful on television and really evoked a spirit in people. So we looked at movies like Enter the Dragon, movies like Bloodsport, and TV shows like Survivor and American Idol. These are all very successful movies and franchises, and we looked at where it worked. So we put together Warrior Island, which has a little bit of all of those shows. It's gonna get to the heartstrings of people because of the humanality of it. I guess that's a word, humanality. It's going to be grueling because you're going to get down to the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. You're going to see what these guys go through and girls go through, because we're going to have a Warrior Island princess, or Warrior Lady Warrior Island. We'll do that one again. We're going to have a Lady Warrior Island as well. But it's really across, I would say, Enter the Dragon meets Survivor.
Okay.
Warrior Island is a show where 16 of the world's greatest fighters, chosen by the fans, will travel to the secret island to train with the Grand Masters and Masters of martial arts from all over the world to change history. When a fan watches Warrior Island, they're going to see these fighters develop with all the different styles and masters they work with. You're going to see the evolution of each fighter to be what the best they could be as a martial artist, whether it's a ground fighter, a stand-up fighter, or a combination of both. And through the series, fans are going to find a fighter or two that they're just going to absolutely love. Eventually there will only be one. One will be the champion. But all 16 will then go into the Global Proving Ground League and will be around the world in our fight cards. So once these fans have locked on to their favorite fighters, just like some of the other shows on television, they're going to be able to go see them live. You know, the fans of the world really need to get onto the website because they have a voice. The fans decide every season. So they need to go to globalprovingground.com, sign up for the YouTube channel, and find their favorite fighters and click like. That's how simple it is to make a difference. We're also going to make it, there's going to be an evolution through the show with the Warrior Island video game, where the 2 weight class winners from each series will be added into the digital video game every year. So the fans can actually interact with the fighters live during the show, like the TV show Death Race. So there's a lot of great things that they can do. So they should definitely step up, be part of it, and be excited. You know, people turn on their TV and buy a pay-per-view and watch a professional fight, whether it be boxing or mixed martial arts, and they don't really know what it takes, the training, the years, the dedication. Some people say it's all fun and games if someone gets punched in the face. And you know, during training in martial arts, there's a lot of punching in the face. And I think that when the fans watch this, they're gonna feel the energy, the sorrow, the pain, the joy of everything that these individual athletes will go through, and each one of them will go through something different. And that's what the fans will really connect to. They're gonna find that fighter that they feel I don't know, kind of they connect with. And I think that's going to be dynamic in the series, and that's going to create some amazing characters.